voice in the wasteland. She calls.
Technicolor hat taste.
I've been told to turn the other cheek and rise above it. But the weather is perfect, so I'll expect worse. But I think they can shove it. I give up whatever I try, and I'll never crack your flick 'cause I don't go by. Count down the days till you crash and witness how gravity makes the rest of us a dirty little mistress. There's a race in life you win. I'll be here on the strategy while you stay in it. Going in your camera is so much time on your mind. Flexing your wings, all you do is depressing.
Oh, and watch out for lightning and turbulence. When you splat, it's really nasty.
To help your flapping, all your winkle need wrapping while we all stand. Never be inclined.
Can't keep up whatever I do. Can't keep up whatever I do. Can't keep up whatever I do. But I'll die before I'll ever fly like you.
I'll never be fly like you.
Chapter 1. Weatherproof. Do you believe in ghosts?
Please, let us on. The shield's failing. There's no time.
A long line of ponies waited impatiently in front of an air wagon, but there was no sign of the Pegasus pilots. A green unicorn mare at the back of the crowd suddenly started screaming desperately, pushing ponies aside in a wild dash for the front.
It's impossible. This can't be happening. Celestia's abandoned us. Luna's abandoned us. There's...
The panicked mare fell silent as her body hit the ground. All eyes turned to look at a soldier who had racked a fresh shell into her Riot shotgun.
Form a line and wait your turn. There's room for every pony. Troublemakers will be met with lethal force.
A little filly with a blonde mane and pink coat was looking up at the sky towards Canterlot. A gigantic shiny bubble engulfed the whole mountaintop. The pink cloud trapped inside was the most incredible sight of her life, capturing her attention completely.
Hey, you there.
A unicorn medical officer dressed in a white uniform was distributing protective suits to the foals. She paused for a moment in front of the pink filly and gave her a worried look.
Are you alone? Where are your parents?
The foal smiled back at the officer.
My mom is up there.
She pointed a hoof at the force field surrounding Canterlot. The energy bubble seemed a lot thinner than 10 minutes ago.
She'll be back for dinner.
The officer hesitated before looking at the foal and trying to smile.
Of course she will. What's your name, little one?
I'm Puppysmiles.
Cheered the filly, bouncing up and down on the spot.
Yes, puppy. All right, listen to me very carefully. I want you to take this suit and put it on. You must wear the suit and not take it off. Do you understand?
The filly looked at the yellow object with a puzzled expression, then at the white pony.
Yes, Miss Pretty Pony. I like you.
Dear Celestia, she's just a foal. She hasn't done anything wrong. This war is killing more than ponies. This war is killing hope itself.
The unicorn levitated and unfolded the suit. It was lemon yellow, with several pockets on the legs and a couple of saddlebags on the sides.
Okay, I need you to put your hooves in the holes for me. It's like the pony pokey. Do you know the pony pokey?
Yes. You reach your right hoof in, you reach your right hoof out.
Right, that's perfect. Now the tail. Here, let me close it up and put this on your head, and done!
The mare put a round glassy helmet on Puppysmiles' head, then snapped shut a pair of locks on each side, finally sealing the small pony safely inside her rad suit.
Wow, I look like a space pony. Like Captain Andromeda. Loose!
Okay, the foal started running and jumping in circles. Giggling naively, the white mare simply sighed in relief and turned towards the next group with foals. Puppysmiles was having a super-duper great time. Everything began with those big fireworks like a super humongous surprise party, and the castle was encased in a splendid bubble. Like those she made with soap, but just bigger. Biggest. No, more. Biggester. And now every pony was in the streets for some sort of celebration. She prayed to her lucky star that Mommy would come back home and sooner today so that they could have fun together. The helmet and the spacesuit were just the icing on the cupcake. They were super cool, and she was sure they made her look awesome. Right. What she needed now was a mirror. Without hesitation, the filly rushed home. The muffled street noise filtered into her mother's room. Puppysmiles stood in front of the dresser, examining her helmet from the inside. Strange lights and symbols danced across the glass. Objects in the room were ringed in green halos, and as she looked at them in turn, writing appeared below. Too bad Puppy couldn't read. Her mom had barely taught her the basics. The filly frowned as she tried to construct the word.
Bed. Wow, I'm good.
Satisfied, Puppy trotted downstairs, totally forgetting the mirror. Instead, she went for the fridge.
Muffins!
Puppy plucked one from the tray and went to take a bite. This immediately presented a problem. She couldn't get near it with that stupid helmet on.
What Ken has? That helmet! How do I take you off?
She grabbed the offending fishbowl between her hooves and wrestled with it for a full minute. But to no success. Panting, she sat down hard on her rump and decided to play her trump card. Unnoticed by the whining Puppysmiles, a red symbol appeared on the visor. Her tantrum was cut short as a metallic voice began talking from within the suit.
Status of host. Panic.
The filly derped for a moment. What was going on? Who was speaking?
What?
Internal medical diagnostic initiated. Error. System rebooting. Estimated time 30 seconds.
All those funny words were amusing, but it didn't help with getting rid of the helmet. Puppysmiles was still upset.
Go away, stupid talking spacesuit! I want muffins!
Reboot complete. Checking version. Initiating. 10 seconds to full operational status. 8,
In that
7.
In that moment, Puppysmiles heard a crescendo of voices from outside. A mounting roar as all the ponies in the city screamed in terror. It was as if Canterlot itself cried out one last time before the end. A desperate realization of the incoming doom.
5, 4, 3.
Suddenly, the world went pink. Looking out of the window, the foal could see a shadow that grew darker and darker all over the place, as if a gigantic sugary pink cloud was falling on them. Oblivious to its meaning, Puppy pressed the helmet against the glass of the window, curious as to what was going on outside.
2. System rebooted. Starting diagnostic routine. Warning. Primary healing talisman is not responding. Activating backup healing talisman. Starting diagnostic. Female. Full. Earth pony. Variety.
Wow, this spacesuit was smart. It knew a lot of things.
Hi, I'm Puppysmiles.
A blanket of pink mist flooded the streets, muffling the sounds of the ponies it caught, their terrified screams being washed away as the cloud brought them death or worse.
Life support. Online. Temperature within parameter. Blood pressure within parameters. Warning. Radiation level above the average by 300%. Minor radiation poison detected. Inoculating Radax. Inoculating Radaway. Inoculating Radaway.
Puppy sat in front of the window looking a bit puzzled at the mist leaking inside. She now wasn't sure of...
Ow! Stupid spacesuit! Why you stung me? Ow! Stop it!
Warning. Hazardous agent detected. Analyzing. Pink agent. Little horn type. Lethal at a concentration exceeding 5%.
Puppy giggled.
Spacesuit says fancy words.
1.8%, 2%, 2.2%. Warning. Concentration of pink agent above safety limits. Evacuate the area immediately.
Puppy stared in amazement as the pink fog poured from the window and across the floor. She smiled as it streamed between her hooves. It was like candy floss. Pink candy floss! Yay! Her mom hadn't let her eat it since she made herself sick last nightmare night.
I feel funny.
Danger. Mutation detected. Concentration of 5.4%. Danger. 6%. Evacuate immediately. Contact Ministry of Peace for immediate help. Initiating transmission of distress signal. Scanning for emergency channel. Transmitting. Warning. Concentration at 7.5%.
Mom, I don't feel very... Can I stay home tomorrow?
Everything became foggy for the foal. She felt like she was sweating a lot while at the same time she was freezing.
Inoculating. Medex. Inoculating. Healing potion. Concentration at 12.1%. Inoculating. Rad-X. Inoculating. Rad-Away. Concentration of pink agent at 16%. Inoculating poison antidote. Inoculating healing potion. Inoculating healing potion. Concentration at 22.6%. Inoculating healing potion. Inoculating.
The ceaseless litany of the Radsuit's medical systems continued as Puppy's legs gave out beneath her. Lying unconscious on the kitchen floor, the healing potions that coursed through her veins kept her alive. As the deadly pink agent slowly permeated the suit, it did its best to mitigate the worst of the effects. She did not die, but she didn't quite survive either.
Healing potion. Inoculating healing potion. Inoculating healing potion. Warning. Healing potion doses left 3.
Like an abandoned doll, Puppysmiles slept as her suit sang its clinical chorus of program procedures. Hazardous atmosphere, suit compromised, medical supplies exhausted. She heard none of it as minutes flowed into hours, hours into days. The filly simply lay there on the floor, wearing the noisiest medical suit ever, which kept stoically informing her that she was almost dead and she needed practically everything. Days became weeks, weeks became months, as Puppy kept sleeping frozen in that very last instant of life. Months stacked up in seasons, and the seasons gave way to years, the suit continuing to sing its lullaby of medical emergencies. Year upon year, the voice of the suit became lower and lower, starting to crackle. The transparent helmet, covered in dust, hid the tragedy of the world outside from the filly's face as she took her longest ever nap. Sealed inside her suit, tainted by the cloud, decades passed until they became a century, then two. The house bore the years without a single repair. It was a good house, built by earth ponies in the old pony way, brick by brick, with a solid roof and strong foundations. But everything has to meet its end. It began as a little crack in the middle of the main roof beams during spring, growing larger and deeper with every rainstorm until the whole thing just resigned to old age. Right on Puppysmiles. Day 1. Time, approximately 5 p.m. Location, Cloverleaf Terrace suburb of Canterlot. When the building collapsed, it raised a cloud of dust and pink smoke that persisted for several minutes before everything went silent again. When the dust finally settled, from under the ruins came a tiny muffled voice.
Oh,
Slowly a brick moved, followed by another, revealing something glinting in the rubble. A round glassy helmet popped up, followed by the yellow silhouette of a very small pony wearing a rad suit. There was a long crack in the helmet, but somehow the damage began to disappear as the pony finished freeing herself from the collapsed building.
Mom?
The filly resembled an astronaut taking her first steps on an alien world.
What is this? Where's every pony? Mom! Mom!
Something felt wrong, beginning with the fact that she was still wearing that talking suit.
Mom!
Line reboot necessary.
Shut up, Sue! Where's Mom? Where's my house? Where,
The filly's words died in her throat as she looked up to see a familiar mountain, topped by a ruined but unmistakable castle. There was no doubt this was Canterlot, her home.
What? But it's all broken!
Critical failure. No living. Requesting comfort. Annihilating. Rebooting.
Yeah, whatever!
The filly yelled while still looking at the ruins of Canterlot looming above her, and all of a sudden she felt funny again. At first her sight became foggy and she fell on her flank, her legs unable to support her. Puppysmiles grew weaker and weaker, feeling a terrible pain crawl from her hooves up to her spine. It was a new type of sensation. Everything in her just seemed to stop working, and the harder she tried to do anything, the more she felt trapped in her own body. The little filly tried to scream, but her mouth wouldn't move. The only thing she could do was look at the empty street through a cloud of pain in a dusty helmet. As she stood there, her focus shifted to a pile of strange, dirty white stones. Their shape was unusual, long, thin, some curved, some straight. Now that she was paying attention, the foal realized that they were everywhere. The sight disturbed her slightly, but the sensation didn't last long. A green dot pulsed before her eyes, commanding her full attention.
Reboot complete. Checking version. File not found. Starting emergency mode. Version 0.2.
Puppy tried to say something, but she was still completely paralyzed. The foal just stared at the weird lights in front of her eyes that turned from green to pink. Hey, good news at last! She loved pink. It was her favorite color.
New components detected. Initializing matrix. Connecting.
A spark ran through the foal's body, from her nose to her tail, washing away that horrible sensation of paralyzing weakness. With some hesitation, the filly tried raising a hoof, finding no resistance. This encouraged her to try a few uncertain steps. It worked. It was as if the last 5 minutes had never happened. She just got better all of a sudden. Go figure.
Ow, that was weird. Now I just need to get this stupid spacesuit off.
systems operational. Starting diagnostic routine. Analyzing. Subject 001. Puppysmiles. Female, full. Earth pony variety. No vitals. Checking for errors in diagnostic equipment. No error found. Repeating diagnostic routine. Female, full. Earth pony variety. No vitals.
What are vitals? I want vitals. Are they yummy?
Launching learning program for false. Connecting to Ministry of Image for recent updates. Unable to establish connection bridge. Launching program from backup files. Please wait for installation to finish.
The filly started trotting around, moving toward the pile of old weathered bones and stopping to get a better look at them. The HUD in her helmet illuminated the heap, surrounding its silhouette with a pink halo.
Curly cur, corrupts.
The filly giggled. Reading was fun. A second later, she frowned.
What's a corpse?
Corpse. Noun. Remnants of a dead creature. The more you know.
The metallic voice quickly answered the question.
Dead? Like dead?
Searching for synonyms for dead. Cadaverific, cadaverous, deceased, defunct, departed, done for, erased, expired, extinct, gone, inanimate, inert, lifeless.
Puppy listened for the first part of the list, then poked a long white bone with a hoof. Her eyes pointed out something just too familiar in the skeleton.
Mr. Voice, this corpse, what was it?
Analyzing. Pony. Adult. Female. Unicorn variety.
The little foal shivered, or at least felt like shivering. Her eyes rose, looking down the street littered with bones everywhere. Skeletons of dead ponies curled on themselves, lining against the walls, corralled in small groups as if they had tried to find safety in numbers. All dead. Every pony was dead.
What happened? Mom? Where's Mom?
Puppysmiles felt a cold sensation running down her spine.
Mr. Voice? Where's Mom?
Mom. Ministry of Morale. Analyzing data. Connecting to Equestrian cartography on Spark. Downloading data. Error. Name matching failed. Searching for Mom broadcasting signal. Spritebot found. Establishing communication bridge.
Puppysmiles stopped following the voice after the first 2 or 3 sentences. Now she was trying to find her home. Maybe her mother was there waiting for her.
Why is everything different? Where's my house? Where are all the pretty ponies?
Glancing down the street, she saw the rusted and battered remnants of the Pony Joe's donut shop. Confirming that this was the street where she lived. Her house must have been.
But...
She stood in front of the ruins she'd crawled out of just minutes ago, looking at them in disbelief.
Query. Broadcasting source. Broadcasting signal found. Location marker transmission in progress.
If this is home, where's my mom?
Puppy sat down and started to cry, or at least tried to. Quite soon, the foal realized that she was just bawling. No tears ran down her face, and she didn't feel relieved at all. Now the filly was almost sure that something in her was wrong. She was going to ask the mechanical voice about that, but was interrupted.
Ministry of Morale locations added to map. Nearest Mom HUD displayed on Navigator.
You found my mom?
Affirmative. Mom has been located. Nearest Mom hub outside Canterlot Ruins is set as new navigation priority.
I guess that's a yes?
Instructions. Follow the pink arrow on the compass until destination is reached.
Hey?
The filly took some seconds to realize how great this thing was. That voice had just found her mom. She was going to see her mommy. Everything was going to be all right. Who cared about the house, the dead ponies, the ruined castle, or the stupid... No, wait, this super-duper smart talking spacesuit was going to find her mom. The thought filled her with such glee that it pushed everything else from her mind. Who cared that she didn't feel hungry or tired or whatever? Mom would know why. She was going to find her mom. Everything was going to be fine.
Yay!
Day 1, time approximately 8:30 p.m. Location, Sunshine Plaza, outskirts of Canterlot.
Warning, vital parameters absent. Warning, medical supplies exhausted. Warning, all emergency channels mute. Warning.
Warning, wrap up, warning, wrap up.
Puppysmiles was trotting down the streets of Canterlot's suburbs, singing her personal version of the greatest hit ever in all of Equestria, trying to match the suit's timing so that it seemed like a chorus. And no, it didn't work.
The medical supply's tired. Warning, wrap up, warning, wrap up. We'll soon need batteries.
Negative. Energy supply is sufficient. Estimated lifetime of the spark before red level, 1,200 years.
Oh, come on! Just sing and stop whining.
Negative. This is not whining. This is a warning. I can supply appropriate audio samples of whining.
Warning for what? Everything will be alright as soon as we find my mom. She's the coolest pony ever!
Negative. Mom is not a pony. It's an acronym for...
Of course Mom's a pony! And she's not an acrobat either!
Negative. It's Ministry of Morale.
Puppysmiles giggled.
Silly Mr. Suit! Sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
She giggled again.
Ministry of Morale, as if that has to anything. As if that has to do with anything.
Puppy trotted the deserted roads, past the bombed-out relics and ghosts of ponies long dead. As daylight faded into dusk, she found herself in a large city square before a statue of Princess Celestia.
Pretty Princess Celestia? When I'm big, I want to be a princess too.
Puppy paced around the monument with curiosity, trying to find a way into the statue's back. Having a ride on a gigantic marble Celestia seemed just too awesome to be a bad idea, but as she prepared to start her ascent, the suit interrupted.
Warning. Hostile detected. Distance 20 meters. Analyzing.
A red dot appeared on the compass beside her pink objective. Turning to face it, she saw a pony watching her from the doorway of a post office.
At last! Some pony else. Oh, what's his name? Horsestyle? That's a funny name.
The filly skipped towards him with her best winning smile.
Hi, Mr. Horsestyle. I'm Puppysmiles.
Warning. Hostile at 6 meters and closing.
Oh, and this is Mr. Voice. He lives in my spacesuit and whines all the time, but he's super smart.
The creature stared at Puppy with an empty, glowing gaze. He was a horribly disfigured earth pony. His mane was almost completely gone, and skin peeled off his body in several places, revealing rotting meat and yellow bones. "Grah!" growled the ghoul as he took a step towards her.
Is something wrong with you, Mr. Horse?
Analysis complete. Creature. Canterlot Feral Ghoul. Threat level lethal. Tactical retreat is advised.
Puppy stopped, transfixed by the ghoul's unwavering red glare. Suddenly aware of the horror standing before her, the ghoul simply stood and stared back.
I forgot something very important. Sorry, gotta go by.
The foal turned and sprinted for her life, scrambling over bones and screaming like the scared little filly she was.
Ah!
The ghoul watched her display until she disappeared from sight, then sauntered back into the post office. After several blocks, Puppy finally decided it was safe to slow down and catch her breath. She looked over her shoulder, hoping the monster had given up the chase. The street was empty. Lucky Puppy, she was best runner ever. Maybe she could do a sonic rain boom without even flying. Was that possible? It would have been super cool for sure.
Hey, Mr. Voice. You're the egghead. Is that not so pretty pony still chasing us?
Negative. Scanning shows no activity in the area.
Super. Now, let me just catch some breath, then...
Puppy realized something strange. She was barely winded despite having just ran a half a kilometer at full gallop. She had really only stopped because she felt she should be tired. This seemed a teeny tiny bit wrong and made Puppy recall all the warnings the suit kept giving her. Maybe there was something that she needed to know.
Mr. Voice? Am I ill?
Running diagnostic procedure. Please wait. Negative. The subject is not ill, nor wounded, or poisoned.
Puppy felt relieved. The thing about not being hungry or tired was probably nothing unusual. Her mom was always awake after Puppy's bedtime. She never got tired. Maybe she was growing up at last. Yosh! Puppy was becoming a big pony like Mom.
Diagnosis complete. The subject is deceased.
Diseased? You just told me I was all right.
Negative. I told you you were not ill.
The filly frowned.
Wait a moment. I'm not ill, but I'm diseased?
Negative. You are deceased.
But that's the same thing I said.
Negative. The word you are using is incorrect.
Oh, just stop with this tomato you say tomato thing. It was boring even when I was 5. You don't want to tell me what's going on? Fine. I don't want to know. Blech.
Puppy stuck her tongue out at the helmet HUD and again started to follow her pink compass heading. She barely noticed that the night had drawn in around her. She could still see her way, clear as day. Unknown to Puppy, her eyes now shone with a faint pink light. Day 1. Time is approximately 10 p.m. Location Dead Hills, Wasteland. As the yellow-suited filly made her way out of the city, she found herself at the top of a long and winding road. As it stretched into the distance, she saw it pass through a desolate landscape of scorched hills and dead forests, with little sign of civilization in between. The darkness Puppy slowed to a stop and looked around confused.
Hey, Mr. Foy. Are you super duper sure this way's okay? We're not heading anywhere near the mountaintop.
Affirmative. Nearest likely intact Mom hub is located in this direction. However, it is not currently broadcasting. Other hubs are located further down this route.
The little filly frowned for a moment, and it seemed that some big gears were making a lot of noise in her head while she was trying to translate what the suit had just said. In the end, she just smiled.
Okie dokie lucky. Let's sing something then. There is a place where the grass is what's for dinner. Charmed, fun, and wild. There must be something in the water.
In the wasteland, walking down the road, making as much racket as she was, is just asking for trouble. Within half an hour, Puppy had attracted the attention of every potential aggressor in the area, though most of them were a bit wary of how to proceed.
Warning. Several hostiles detected. Caution advised.
What? Mr. Horsetail again?
Puppy looked around in a frantic panic. She was sure that she lost him in town. How could he... Suddenly, the filly fell on a rump as a stinging pain in her left hind leg made it buckle. The pain wasn't that bad, but for some reason she couldn't get up.
Owie.
A group of 3 ponies were running in her direction, screaming and foaming like mad.
You! I'm gonna eat your heart! Ha ha ha! I want the helmet. It's mine. I saw it. It's mine. Mine. He's not bleeding. Why is he bleeding? Make him bleed! Warning. Breach in containment layer. Exposed to external elements unavoidable. Survival of subject not guaranteed. Self-repairing magic activated.
The foal waved a hoof at the new arrivals.
Hi, pretty ponies. I'm Puppysmiles. Have you seen my mom? Oh, and watch out for the horseflies. They sting like crazy.
Puppy just sat smiling at the 3 ponies, trying to behave and ignore the annoying sting on her leg. Stupid insects. The trio of ponies rushing towards her showed no sign of slowing down. She frowned for a moment.
Is something wrong?
Immobilize the bastard! Cut off his fucking legs! I want to see how he does as a snail!
A large earth pony tackled Puppy to the ground, effectively burying her under his sheer bulk. The other 2 ponies split up. The unicorn kept his distance and trained a rifle at the foal's head, while the earth pony mare pinned Puppy's forelegs.
I got you now! Hold still while I... Warning. Pink agent. Little horn type detected.
When the earth pony landed on Puppysmiles, a thick pink cloud puffed out from the large bullet hole in the suit right in his face. At first the pony looked annoyed, but this emotion was rapidly replaced by realization, fear, panic, terror. as finally his head started to melt.
Ah, help me! Ah, kill me!
The other two raiders stared in disbelief at the massive earth pony as his face melted and dripped from his skull like an ice cream on a hot summer's day. The earth pony mare looked at the filly inside the helmet. She seemed so small, so innocuous. She has big, pink, gleaming eyes.
It's a ghoul. Back off, back off, back off.
The mare tried to flee, but started coughing up blood. It was too late to run. She had already tasted the pink venom, and without a healing potion, she was just as dead as her companion. The unicorn screamed in panic like a foal, threw the rifle against Puppy's helmet, and then ran for his life. In the meantime, the big male rolled from Puppy's back. His liquefied brain leaked from his skull's orbits and splashed onto the asphalt. The female tried to run while choking on her own blood, managing to get about 100 meters before collapsing.
Warning. Breach in containment layer. Exposure to external elements unavoidable. Survival of subject is not guaranteed. Repairs in progress.
Puppy was reeling, shell-shocked by the big pony dying right in front of her. It was worse than a horror movie. Mostly because this was real. What in Equestria could have done that? Melting a head with all the skin and the bone that suddenly she realized.
Mr. Horsestyle! He had the same melted face! He killed them!
And now she was next. No. That wasn't good. She had to get up and run away super fast, rainbow dash fast. Unfortunately, her leg wasn't cooperating. She tried to get up and run, but could barely manage a stagger. So, stagger she did as fast as, let's say a crippled turtle.
Repairs completed. Containment restored. Running medical diagnostic. Subject deceased.
Don't you dare start that again! We're in a pinch here!
Negative. No immediate threats detected. Hostile count in area is 0.
Count? Mr. Horsestyle is a noble pony?
Negative. The correct word is hostile. You are distorting the meaning of.
What are you, a dictionary? I'm tired of your fancy words.
Puppy sighed with frustration.
Look, there's a super evil zombie pony count after us. We have to get out of here before he finds us again.
Negative. You are misunderstanding of celestial probe.
Cut it out!
As the anger grew inside Puppy, her eyes began to burn. No, really, they were literally producing brilliant pink flames. They were so bright that she could finally see herself reflected in the glass of the helmet, working like a mirror in the darkness. What Puppy saw was a terrible creature with mad burning eyes, a soulless monster that scared her to the bone. Speechless and completely lost in the vision, Puppy fell to the ground. She clutched the helmet between her hooves, closed her eyes, and started to cry. There were no tears, but it was loud, a soul-felt wail that lasted for hours. Day 2. Time approximately 6:45 a.m. Location, Dead Hills Wasteland. During the night, several creatures have been lured by the sound, but none of them dare to approach the yellow filly. Something about her unsettled them deeply. It was already morning by the time Puppy finally stopped crying. Slowly, she lowered her hooves from the helmet and opened her eyes. The suit had gone mute since her little scene that previous night. Now she was starting to feel a little bit lonely.
Are you there?
Affirmative. All systems are powered and ready.
Oh. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I didn't mean to shout at you.
Warning, this program is not designed for socializing. The emergency mode only provides hardware support, voice command interpretation, and basic survival advice. Please,
don't leave me alone. I'm sorry. Please take me to my mom.
Location Mom already set as navigation point.
Puppy hesitated for a moment, trying to understand what the voice was implying.
You saying that we're still going to find my mom together?
Affirmative. It is the set priority.
Yay! I love you, Mr. Voice.
Puppy was suddenly interrupted by the sound of a manly metallic laugh, but it wasn't coming from inside her helmet. The filly looked around, trying to pinpoint the source, and found a sprite bot fluctuating in the air behind her.
I'm Puppysmiles.
After her last experience with newcomers, she wasn't completely sure that every pony is a welcome pony. Approach was the best one, but she had been told to be nice and she didn't want to disappoint her mother. The sprite bot hovered for a few moments longer, then it replied.
Oh, hi, puppy. Can I call you puppy? You're quite an interesting encounter.
Puppy smiled happily. A friend at last.
Sure, everybody calls me that. What's your name, Buzzy Eye?
I'm Watcha. Pleased to meet you.
The foal tilted her head.
What are you watching?
Well, anything that I find interesting.
Wow, that must be a lot of things.
The bot laughed for a moment.
Well, yes, quite a lot. Say, that is a fully functioning Mark VI omni-environmental suit you're wearing.
Nope, it's a spacesuit. It's super cool and it also talks. But I can't get out of it.
Oh? And how did you get inside?
A pretty pony put it on me yesterday.
Yesterday? Can I ask who that pony was?
Puppy pondered for a moment.
She had a pretty white vest, and she made me sing the Pony Pokey. It was all a bit crazy. She didn't tell me what her name was.
Crazy? Like what?
The filly frowned, trying to remember the important details of the encounter.
Well, there was this big pink bubble all around the castle, and the streets were full of ponies and soldier ponies, and then all that pink mist and...
Whoa! Slow down a moment. Pink mist? Castle? Do you mean Canterlot?
Yep. Well, not Canterlot. We live downhill, but it's still Canterlot, you know?
Yes, I know.
The voice hesitated.
And this happened yesterday?
Maybe it was a couple of days ago. Yesterday I woke up and all the pretty ponies were gone and my house was gone too, and there were a lot of corpse ponies and it was creepy, and a really ugly pony chased me, but now it's okay because me and Mr. Voice are going to find my mom.
The sprite bot was silent for a long time. Puppy just kept smiling, waiting for her new friend to say something else. When the voice finally came back, it sounded distant and somehow not so friendly.
So, after the thing with the pink cloud, you went to sleep, and you woke up the next day, and everything was just gone.
Yep.
And you've not been out of this suit since then, and you've not had to drink or eat or go to the restroom.
Nopey mopey. Mr. Voice
smiled.
said it was because I was diseased. Mr. Voice said it was because I was diseased, but then he said no and then yes, and we had this big argument about fancy words.
And can I ask you where you're going now?
At last, an easy question.
Sure, I'm gonna go find my mom. Mr. Voice found her, and I'm following this super nice pink arrow. When I find her, everything will be all right.
This Mr. Voice pointed you in that direction, down this road.
Yes! Wow, Mr. Watcher, you're super curious, aren't you? You should be called Mr. Questioner.
The filly giggled. The voice didn't say anything for almost a minute.
Oh, Celestia, I can't. Listen, puppy,
Yes?
The filly's eyes grew bigger. The voice went mute again for a long while.
I'm sorry, I have to go. I wish you luck.
Sure! Good luck to you, too. When I find my mom, I'll tell her that you were nice to me. Bye-bye!
The sprite bot gave a brief burst of static and began playing some music, floating away in the direction of Canterlot.
Wow! Music! He has music! Cool! Hey, Mr. Voice, do we have music, too?
Affirmative. I received several radio signals. Some of them are meant for entertainment.
Fancy words again. Puppy frowned, trying to translate that sentence.
This means we can have music?
Affirmative.
Do it!
After a few crackles of static, the radio began playing. The little filly in yellow continued south, trotting merrily along the lonesome road.
What is this place filled with so many wonders? End scene.
And that concludes Chapter 1.
Thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, for watching and listening. I do apologize for the start of the broadcast having a hiccup with my broadcasting software. Flower, you can actually turn your microphone on now. I figure we can do 2 or 3 minutes. We expected this to take an hour anyway, and we actually only needed about 35 minutes. But then we needed 35 more for, my software having a hiccup. We would like to offer you guys a chance to have a Q&A, and would like to remind you that we do need some more voice actors. We originally had, I believe, 9 people sign up to help us with this, and then only 3 actually showed up the day it was finally due.
They're indecisivers. Indecisive E? Yeah, that works.
By the way, the Puppysmiles voice is freaking great.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
thank you.
you nailed it. Oh my god.
I've been having to
Thank
talk.
you.
I've been having to talk out of my chest for most of this, and I'm used to talking out of the back of my throat.
Thank you.
Well.
It means a lot.
And now folks have had a dose of my normal reading voice.
We will be doing
It
this.
was really good.
Thank you.
We will be
By the way,
doing.
yes, I'm gonna keep eating Puppysmiles for a while.
That's great. We'll be doing this again in about 2 weeks, because we have to have like a week to kind of set up, and hopefully I can get some more voice actors and some more voice work in here to help us out. Because again, we originally had 10 people. I'm actually looking at the count now. We originally had 10 people commit to saying they could do this, and then we only had 3 show up.
Join us.
And if you can't do
Join
voice,
us.
if you can't do voice work, we would appreciate a sound engineer, because I would like the sound of a riot shotgun or somebody's brain leaking out of their skull.
Instead of me just going blam.
I can make pretty realistic vomiting sounds.
It's just somebody who can go on and get the sound clips and make sure everything's ready, so all I have to do is just press the button, and on cue it just fires, so it works, instead of making the blam sound, or in this case describing a noise. That, and also some appropriate background music for the chapter. Like, if you can do that stuff, that would be great.
I don't think I can do the background music, but I could probably set up a good soundboard, given some time. If you don't find anyone else.
Bronze, if you can do scary voice, like the mechanical suit voice, because that's what it actually is supposed to be, that's actually hard on my throat, because I have to talk out of my chest into my throat to do that. That would be great, because I'm supposed to do Henrietta when we get to chapter, I think 5 is when she shows up. And I'm supposed to do
that's really hard to say.
I'm supposed to do Henrietta, and it's going to be really hard to switch between Henrietta and Scary Voice, because Henrietta also talks from my chest, but she talks into my nose.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, a nasal
switching
twang
voices
style
like that is
voice.
really hard.
You can trust me on that one.
I've been doing it for a long time.
So have I, and you, little whelp. What the heck are you?
What?
Pink little pony, like, what is this? Yellow suit and everything? I don't understand.
Oh man, I actually did make Puppysmiles' suit in Gary's mod a long time ago.
Oh, cool.
But,
Nice.
yes, we'll be, what I intend to do for the first couple of these is every other week, and then after BronyCon, we'll be able to sit down and script out multiple ones in the same week, and therefore do like an entire month of back to back to back. as far as actually where these are going to get posted, I'm talking to Forrest Gilray because he does these by himself on a regular basis on his own YouTube channel. To get him to be the one to post them, since that's what he does on his YouTube channel anyway. So I will make sure that this recording is saved, and I'll get it edited for him, and if he wants to put it on his channel, he can put it on his channel, and you guys will be able to go back and watch them as we progress. As soon as we're done with Pink Eyes, the people who are watching are the ones I intend on having them select the next one we do.
Nice.
Big Fallout Equestria! Do it! I want to be Calamity! Do it! Oh, wait, Laura, you're going to BronyCon too?
Yes, I will be at BronyCon. I actually have a vendor stall.
Oh, cool! I'll see you there then.
And I'm on the Fallout Equestria panel at BronyCon.
Oh, heck.
Oh, right.
I'll drink that.
No problem.
but
Hidden
yeah,
fatality.
If we can get some more people to help out with these, I will gladly broadcast them as a Sunday night type of thing, because it's a very nice kind of just low-key come in and just do some voice acting for something that I think we all have a passion for. So if we can just get a few more people together to help us out with the different voices, because while I don't mind jumping between, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 voices, that's a workout. 11. I had to sing in the last voice. 11. That's a workout.
No doubt.
I'd be happy to help, but I can't really switch to...
I don't
back
expect
and
you to
forth
switch,
from
especially since, despite the fact I switched between 11 voices, you had more lines than I did.
Yeah.
You switching? No.
Yeah.
No, just
Pink Eye, yeah, Puppysmiles has a lot of voices to work.
just be the star. That's fine.
Hey, Stargaze, if you want to give it a shot, this is the place to do it.
And it's more like just reading with a little bit of emotion put into it.
It's exactly what it is. It's reading with emotion. If you can do that, then yes, I would gladly take you. I'll be doing sign-ups this week. Just kind of announcing, tomorrow that we'll be doing sign-ups. I'm surprised that we actually had, we have 16 people watching right now. I'm very surprised at that. I only expected like 10, and instead we have nearly as many as I would have on a bad video game day. So this would be about every 2 weeks right now, Hidden Faithy. And once we get past BronyCon and can get settled back down, it's going to be every week, because we'll be able to script them out much faster, because I'll have a much larger block of time to do scripting. But again, we're looking for voice actors.
Yeah, we need more character voices.
But we definitely need more character voices. Does anybody have any questions?
I also had a lot of lines to work with as a narrator.
I mean, you're the narrator, so, you've got a third of the lines.
Now we got 19 people here.
You definitely have the best narrator voice out of all of us. I mean, you say you have a face built for radio, but I can look at you and go, no, you have a voice for radio, sir.
I've been told that a lot when I was a customer service rep.
Like, I pride myself on being a narrator myself. I actually do audiobooks.
Nice.
Then,
Wait, you actually do audiobooks?
I'm actually recording the Typhus King series now. Part of it's just for fun, but
Also, I heard that you work with the stable guys.
Yeah, East Corp.
If you can,
I'm Fade. I was Fade, and recently was Diamondback.
If you can get one or two of them to help too, that would be great. But I will also be in my own Discord. I just posted it in the chat. I'll be in there after we get done with the broadcast here in about 4 or 5 minutes, and we can sit down and I can hear out some people who want to do character voices. Next chapter, I'm going to go ahead and start looking this over right now. I do believe we need a scary voice, and we obviously need Puppysmiles. We need scary voice. We need a couple. We have a couple of random unicorns like Red Trotter, and yeah, we'll have a bunch of different voices that we'll have to script out. Scripting will be taking place next Sunday for part 2, and then for part 3, we'll be doing scripting 2 weeks after that, and so on and so forth, until we get past BronyCon and can sit down and script out a bunch of them all at once and not have a time sink on us.
Oh, that's cute. You think you're getting rid of me? You're stuck with me.
Right.
I'm stuck with you. Joy of the world.
You pegged that Puppysmile voice perfectly.
Oh, thank you.
I kind of want to have you. I kind of want to hire you to do Sunrise because you would do better than I can.
Oh, jeez.
I'm always happy to do work for people. Honestly, if you ever need any voices, just let me know. I'm basically always available, and planning on starting doing this full time in a couple of months from here.
Hi, I'm Wondering Sunrise. What's your name? Hi, I'm Wondering Sunrise. What's your name? I have to do that on Wednesday night, and that's so hard.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to sing bass, people.
The sad thing is, if I actually talk to my normal voice, no one would believe that it's me.
You're right, we wouldn't, because I've heard your normal voice, and it's totally not there. Anyway, I'll see you two next Sunday for scripting out Chapter 2, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks for Part 2. I'm going to get Part 1 compressed and ready for Gilray, and as soon as it's up, I will send it to you guys. The 2 main characters I will be playing through this are Henrietta and Puppysmiles' mom, which you heard her voice at the end there because I'm going to be doing something horrible that you will realize later on. And Mr. Lovely, Amazing Lenzabi here is our narrator. And Cinder is going to be our Puppysmiles, but we will need as many voices as possible because I've looked over this entire fic and it has around 200 different characters.
What?
Some of them only get about 2 or 3 lines like the Raiders, but there are about 200 different characters, and I can only do so many voices, and Lenzabi can only do so many. Just having someone in here who's a bit flexible on doing voices and being able just to like do 3 different kinds of Raider would be amazing. Again, if you want to step into my Discord server after the broadcast and apply, we can get you set up. In the meantime, what do you two have to say?
Thank you all for
Well,
coming.
yeah, thanks for showing up, folks, and listening to us go through this for the very first time.
And the format will be the same as before. I will play a 4 or 5 minute song from Equestria Fallout Radio, and then as soon as the song is up, you'll hear a record scratch, and Lenzabi will just start. So don't be late. This is not going to be like a normal stream where you can be late and miss stuff. You're going to have to it's going to be like a TV show.
Right, which means if you're going to be reading, you got to get your butts in here on time. Otherwise, we'll send the raiders after you.
I think I'll let Puppysmiles have the last word.
Okay.
Thank you for listening, everyone, and have a lovely night.